1 minute. And then feedback for 3 minutes. You can just hold it.
I might need to use hand gestures. I might need to use hand gestures.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Okay.
We want to use it like
Oh, presentations have started. We're going to be very fast. In 1 minute, you present. Yes. That may take, okay, we wanted to do that.
okay.
You go ahead and read as we're going to keep improving it.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are Team Echoto, innovators, and we come here to bring you we come here to address the climate changes that are affecting our world, and we plan to solve them using renewable energy.
She has 20 seconds.
So the problem is specifically for Mbara, very many people come in and roughly we receive about 200 tons of garbage daily for the people that come in, and 78 to 90% of this garbage is inorganic, but this garbage is left in landfills like Chitezi, and it's left in wherever to rot, yet it could be turned into something that could be, used for renewable energy. And then you find this rubbish, the banana peels, the food waste, like someone has eaten their food and the remainder they've just thrown it away. You find it's polluting the entire environment instead of being used for something better. And you find our environment, it's dirty, and over time, these organic materials, when they decompose in an inorganic space, they produce methane, which leads to global warming. Then also there is also the invisible barrier. Most people, yes, they wish to adopt the renewable solutions, but they fear the myths that are usually going around about renewable energy, like biogas, like briquettes. They believe that if something is made using waste, that the food will stink like the waste that it's being cooked with, and that is not true. And also they believe that biogas will explode in their homes, and which is really not true, honestly. For people who have used biogas, you can testify. Then there is also the economic trap, where I find most urban households are spending roughly up to 100 Ugandan shillings per month on charcoal, which is even bad for the environment, but they won't spare at least 1,000, to buy a kilogram of biodegradable, of briquettes for 1,000, and those briquettes can go for a long time. So you find like they think they are saving money, yet they are actually wasting. Then there is also the cultural myth.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. How does it feel? How does it feel to be holding the mic? I can see your face. Well done. Now, I think it took them 5 minutes. It took you 5 minutes to tell us what you want, which is okay, okay? We know it can never be clear. And sometimes we have all these mind and we all have these issues, but articulating them in the shortest time possible is never easy. So well done. Now, I would want to ask for feedback from the team before maybe the judges, not judges, the mentors come in to give their... Duncan, I was passing on this to you first. I think I can... Anybody who has feedback for them? We need to take this activity into... Anybody who has feedback? Okay, let me start the feedback. One, I feel you have so many problems. You can never solve the world's problems all at once. I think what we need to do is focus. If this is how much the renewable energy challenges are, I want you to pick that one thing. It could be the myths. And you're thinking, okay, we want to see how big is this problem of the myths. Everybody says, okay, if you buy these things, they would explode in our homes, or they are, because it's garbage, it's going to become, the food will smell. If they are myths, and indeed you have done research, that it does not only happen here in Uganda, but also in Tanzania, maybe in Nigeria, it also happens, then boom, we know we have a problem to solve. But I feel you have taken this problem, and then you have another problem of course, the waste. If you want to concentrate on the waste as is, concentrate on that waste and you say, okay, these are how many tons of waste that are generated on a daily, okay? And who is going to die if we have so much waste? So you problematize that particular problem. That, you know, if this waste remains unattended, we still see issues like what happened in Chitezi. Go ahead and capitalize on that, focus on that. I felt she had several problems, and there was a lack of focus, because at the end of the day, we want to come up with a solution, but we cannot solve the world's problems all at once. So we're going to solve this one tiny problem. We just need to focus on this one tiny problem. I don't know if anybody has any other feedback.
Maybe to add on what you said, we need to come up with a problem statement. We need you to define in few sentences, because when you're going to present, you're not going to go through a lot. You need to have one defined problem.
Defining, I don't know if you understood what he was talking about, you know, 20% of this waste goes to da 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 da, and bah. It should be like a line, 2, 3, they should, I've seen the problem that is supposed to be articulated by that team of Frank. Like 1 to 3 lines, you shouldn't go beyond 6 lines. We should be done with our problem. Yeah? Any other feedback? Drums? Thank you so much. Can we get the agriculturalists? Oh, yes, sorry. Hospitality is here.
Like this.
We have a minute.
Oh, this is okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Team Havana Hotelians Limited. And we are going to present to you a problem on the challenges of high staff turnover rate in this industry. So we all know that high staff turnover, of course, is a persistent and costly problem that challenge, especially the 3-star hotels, because our research went around, our focus has been on the 3-star hotels. And these hotels, of course, we know they form the backbone of hospitality industry in Uganda. There are very many in terms of numbers. And Uganda basically has about 20 to 25 officially graded 3-star hotels nationwide, according to our research. The mid-range hotels employ a large proportion of this hospitality workforce. And in southwestern Uganda, if we are to come to the regional focus, we realize that at least 5 officially graded 3-star hotels exist, and Mbarara has got 1, according to our data. Okay? And so, the annual turnover rate is estimated 21 to 31%, 22 to 31%, which means that 1 in every 3 hotel employees leave every year. And the key drivers to this challenge, of course, long working hours and physically demanding roles. There is low wages and limited employee well-being support activities that would enable the employees to want to stay. And then there is tight operating margins in mid-range hotels. These are some of the drivers. So the impact on business is that they have to do frequent recruitment and training, which is costly. There is cost attached, service inconsistency, and declining customer experience results as a consequence of this. And therefore, there is increased pressure on the remaining staff. So why is this important? Why does it matter? It matters because unmanaged staff turnover threatens profitability of this business, and also it has a challenge, or it has an implication on the brand reputation, and guest loyalty becomes an issue. All right? And then there is long-term business sustainability problem. It gets compromised because, you know, loyalty is very important business. And so if guests cannot stick because each time they come there is something they don't like, they are not going to be loyal. That is a negative, it has a negative impact on the operation of the hotel. So that is the challenge. That is the problem that we have come up with in this industry.
Those were about 8 minutes. Thank you so much, Team Havana Hotelians. Thank you. Any comments for them? Besides, that was a very long presentation. So it was a very long presentation. Now, tomorrow we're going to do what we call an elevator pitch. What does an elevator pitch mean? It means assuming, you make an assumption. Assuming you are in an elevator with KAZAIRE. You're in an elevator with the Microsoft guy. How fast does the elevator run from the first floor to the 17th floor? It's going to take a minute. So assuming you find yourself there and you say, hey, hi, how are you? My name is this. By the way, do you know that in this place there's A, B, C, D? And we are thinking of, by the time the elevator stops, you should be done. So you're going to miss the trip. You're going to miss telling this person what you want to say because you are going in circles.
We shall cut it down.
No, it's okay. It is okay. You've done amazingly well. What I want to communicate is that it's an art and we practice, we rehearse again and again. So for starters, flowers to them.
Thank you.
I think you can use the time maybe by close of day today. By the time you're done with your innovation, you should also articulate the problem statement. But it doesn't forget defining the problem. Flowers to them. Can I get the agriculturalists? I know you ran away. You come over. Run. And you have 1 minute. Just 1 minute to tell us about the problem statement.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are the MAST Agricultural Solutionists, and our problem statement is poultry farmers in Mbarara City face a challenge of safety with significant threats to their livelihoods and sustainability of local poultry production. It also has an impact on finances of the farmers, local food security, and availability of the local poultry products in the market. To address the above problem, it is important to identify and implement strategies such as leveraging technology, engaging local enforcement, and collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think they were very briefer than the earlier teams. Thank you so much. Now, unfortunately, I was excited, so I did not pay attention. I was excited. I was already excited. I was seeing here. And so I kind of did not pay attention. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to go take the tea. Because when a doctor starts to to tell us all the magic of where he's come from to where he is and inspiring us, we may not want to blink. So I would want Dr. Manasseh, please lead that line. Dr. You should be able to take part of our tea and then, yes.
It's okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are privileged that the guest who have been long waiting for is now here with us. We can have a clap to recognize his presence. You can see how we are excited, and many more are excited online. I received several calls last evening looking for the link. I shared it, and everybody around Must, probably even beyond, are eager to learn from you. You are most welcome. He came with his personal assistant. They will introduce themselves better at the appropriate time. But as you know, KAZAIRE has a record of an entrepreneur who has stood the weather and make KAZAIRE stand out in Imbarara and beyond. He has made us understand that local products can also cross into other borders. And we think this is an important observation from which we want to learn during this boot camp. The rest of the discussions, I will skip it short. I would like to invite you now that we take breakfast with him. It's going to be a working breakfast. So he will lead us. He will pick his cup of tea, take a seat, and after 10 minutes, we shall engage as you also finalize with your cup of tea. Thank you very much. So, can somebody make a prayer? A prayer for the breakfast?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this beautiful morning. We thank you for the best that we have. We thank you, Lord, for the provision. We pray you sanctify it. It shall be a blessing above all. What you intend for us is to be entrepreneurial. Lord, as we hear from your servant, help us to pick the most important steps that we will use to develop ourselves.
Yes. Our guest speaker, the team that is here today, has been here since Monday. And we have taken them through what it means to identify good business ideas. We have also taken them through opportunity spotting, and we have even broken their fears to try. They went out in the field, they saw the sunshine, it hit them, they got abused, they realized they need to build networks, but finally, all the 4 teams retired with profits. Therefore, in our presentation today, we expect to listen to you and learn how a smart business person connects profits, the environment, and the people. How do you connect the 3 and remain profitable? Because we didn't mention this, but it's important that we have sustainable business enterprises. Yesterday and today, this team was introduced to design thinking. In other words, we should do business with the mind of our customer, not the mind of ourselves as entrepreneurs. We need to appreciate the power and importance of doing that. They are aware, we are aware that as we empathize with the customer, we should also build alliances and networks, because a business is part of society and society is part of business. So in view of this, sir, I want to invite you to give us.
Today, where the world is moving, and most especially our country, Uganda, when you look at NDP4, all the strategies and all the eyes of the country are now on universities. If the universities do not create solutions, the African continent will still stay poor. I'm so excited that our current VC, she has come out strongly to the PhD students in this university to make it very clear that even if you publish as many papers as what with no patent, then your impact to community is still a challenge. I'm blessed. Our academic registrar, she's here. At one time, I want to thank God for her humility and understanding. She opens her office to listen to any person who comes there. Because I had a challenge when I had put my application for my PhD here. So there are things which were a number of patents, and I have already filed now 8 patents, which are originating from my master's, which I did from this university. So one of the key things is that MUST has opened to the world. When you open to the world comes to you now. When you opened to us, we came. Because we were at a time, like, as you are aware, that Mbarara hosts one of the centers of excellence in East and Central Africa, the Famobile Track Center, in drug discovery and drug development, especially natural therapeutics. But as you are aware, one of the 4 core drivers that the government of Uganda is looking at to drive the economy, one of them, we are looking at oil, we are looking at minerals, where we are talking about the gold, we are talking about the agriculture, and the third one is the pathogen economy. And when we are talking about the pathogen economy, looking at Mbarara University of Science and Technology, where we are having the School of Medicine and now a Department of Pharmacy within that school, then drug discovery and drug development becomes very key. And this is where I thank Mbarara University for allowing me to come and be your student and be your child and be part of this family. And I pledge I will do my best to make sure that I represent MUST well wherever I go. And I want to let you know that during my master's study here, I was able to standardize 2 drugs. One of them is Alsaton for peptic ulcer disease, and it got now a license and notification by National Drug Authority. Another one is Vidicin. I'm glad that our VC was part of the scientific team that was selected by His Excellency on my product Vidicin, which has now successfully finished a phase 3 clinical trial, and it is now ready for registration. The review is being done at the National Drug Authority. And also this was possible because Mbarara University opened for me to come and enter. Remember me, I left school. When I was last in the university was in the last century, in 1999, at Makerere University. So I want you to imagine if her office said, this is an ancient person, should not be back here. We want only fresh and young people to enter. So it would have been impossible for me to optimize my innovations. Why I still emphasize the support of Mbarara University to the community. I think a few months ago, about I think 6 months, this university cleared our 3 protocols for cancer research drug discovery. You did it for us, and through that we were able to get support from the State House, and I was in Cairo for about 3 months doing cytotoxicity studies, where we have now come out with scientific data that has confirmed a number of plants which we are able now to handle 7 types of cancers. And today I'm handling over 100 stage 4 cancer patients who would be now referred to hospice. These patients are now being referred to us at our facility here in Rugazi. And these people are recovering. To many, we have reversed now their stages. Now, assuming if you had said KAZAIRE Health Products is just a small company here in this city, we are a big public institution, we cannot clear your protocols. It would have been a big challenge. So I want to thank this university also for that openness and the courage to respect any person who comes, even if it is a small organization, even if it's a small person, and you want to learn and study what good thing is in them. One key thing we must understand this morning is that a university is a generator of knowledge. And there is no solution today in the world that can be attained by just trial and error. No. We are now in the knowledge economy. And as a university, we must be ready to create new knowledge. There is nobody who is going to create new knowledge apart from a university. So, new solutions must come up as a result of generation and creation of new knowledge. But the new knowledge is only created when someone imparts his or her own knowledge to a new being, and this new being works with this new knowledge to create a new solution. And that's when there is rebirth of knowledge. So when I see Dr. Ariana, when she was teaching me there, I was still crude from the village, and I would ask a lot of questions, and I think she was wondering, is this student very dense? What is the problem? But she had to be patient. She would even come on your desk when you are asking a lot of work. Epidemiology is very hard, and I was like, should I exit? Then I asked myself, am I going to register the first failure in my journey? And I had to keep there strong. And that's when we say, now today, what I'm talking about, I'm able to go on various websites and read very serious publications and interpret what this publisher was talking about. And sometimes I'm capable of benchmarking with what this researcher is doing, especially in cytotoxicity studies. I was working with one of the prominent researchers in therapeutics in Cairo, Dr. Rasha. She was the one I was working with. She works with the National Institute for Research for the government of Egypt. And she's a consultant for National Institutes of Health. But I'm capable now to read her work and learn from it because of what you did to me. So your knowledge is now having a multiplier effect and is now impacting the economy. For you, you may not, if I had not told you, you would not know. So a lot of more work and impact is happening from this university. But now, what we need now to understand is this, that while research is being done in the university, there has been focus into one direction of measuring the strength of university, especially now in Africa, by the number of publications that have come out of that university and a lot of other things. But in other countries, like China now, they are measuring the strength of a university by how many patents have been filed by this university. because each patent is equivalent to a product. So, I am glad he gave me some introductory remarks on the activities that have been happening. Thank you. But in my own thinking, as a PhD student of this university, the way I was doing things when I was just a graduate of Makerere University changed when I became a master's student of this university, and even the way I do my work has further changed. Because when I got my admission for the PhD, I asked my sisters as I was working on cough, peptic ulcers. Now I was working on cough, peptic ulcers. Now I need to work on a bigger thing. When he finishes working on it, I now again have to carry this product and go down to the pharmacology department and work with pharmacologists to do animal models, to do trials for safety and efficacy on my product. While some other studies may not be managed by this university, that's why I have still worked under the recommendation of the university to again access other international laboratories. So, this morning, you must understand that there is no individual success. We must understand this. Success is a result of synergistic efforts working together to solve a specific solution. Today, I cannot get a license for the manufacture of any drug if I do not have whatever possible solutions we are going to work on. We get to the basics, synergy. As you identify the problem, for us in medicine, you first identify the disease you are targeting. Then that's when you begin even looking for the molecules that can bind to the target. Then you work on other means of how do you deliver it even to the organ which you are looking at. So, in another world of business, we have now to look at what solution. What is that problem that is affecting my community? Then that helps you to even know your client. So, when you went to the field, I do not know how you were generating these problems. I want to give you one scenario. It's not the engine. An engine is a bigger thing. And the engine is you yourself. By that time, I had already gotten a job at the National Water and Sewage Corporation. I was in court. But I assessed the need for money that I was to face if my family was to be successful, because my father was a local construct, I don't know what to call it. The local people who go and roof these small houses in villages. So that's where my school fees came from, and selling of the small ancestral land that was there. So I knew the burden that was ahead of me. I needed to recover this land, and I also needed that there should be a means to retain the smaller piece of land that was remaining. So the pressure, my personal and family problems pushed me to quickly resign, because I needed a bigger flow of money that the job I was on could not fulfill. I don't know how many people are in this room that when you look at the needs, when you look at the amount of money that you need to settle now, beats far beyond what our boss sends into your account. Think about it. Now, for me, I was not yet confirmed. So it was easy for me to exit and go. At that moment, I did bet my future. There is when you bet your life. So, while my father sold the piece of land, we have now reached. While I felt as an employee, I would not finally solve the problems that I was facing as a family. Today, we have more than 590 or 570 members that we are working with. And I think about 300 are in our city here at KAZAIRE Health Products Facility there. Others are in our... How this has come up, for me, I had to make the most radical decision where I left the job, but I don't encourage it. It was risky. And very few people who go into that valley, I call it a valley of death. Yes. To reconnect from your current employment into self-employment. There are a lot of bonds. Because I told him, the day I get more knowledge than you, but I'm telling him, when I complete the PhD before you start it, you will again lose your job. So he has to come. Yes, he has to come back. So, one key thing is that as you pursue what you think are your personal goals, you end up impacting other people around you. So, and one of the key things that has proved to work, why I was telling you this, I work with him, I think we work around 16 hours. Yes, we work 16 hours. Because I have to be at the office where, go to the next slide. KAZAIRE Group now, we have now about, in Uganda, we have other 4 companies. And these companies come up as I try to address certain problems. While KAZAIRE Health Products is a manufacturer, and it funds our research, and it engages with the community. Actually, he's our manager for research and community development. The research that does not develop the community, we trash it, we cannot fund it. So he has to work to go in the community and dig. Thanks to your skills that you have imparted on him. He has capacity to dig and visualize and come with a problem. And he's able to tell me, I have gotten a problem. And I'm like, what is it? Because I know that's now money coming in. So yes, because discover the problem, then we are going to get money. We have work to do. For us who are, I'm the director for research and development. I resigned from the managing director. It involved a lot of money, work, those administrative noise. I said, no, I'm leaving that area. I resigned, and now my wife is the managing director. So she manages those things. Then I only go to her when I want some funds for research. I need to do this study, please give me something. Then she gives me. So, his job, if he finishes the year without bringing a problem from the community, he will lose the job again. So, because it's the problems that are a source, because I will have no job, because if there is no problem for me to solve. Recently, when I was deciding on what to do, he brought me statistics on the prevalence of cancer. And when I looked at the numbers, I was excited. I said, hey, there is work to do here now. But the bitter part of it was, while we register more than 35,000 cases every year, those are the recorded ones from the Cancer Institute, the doctors were losing the battle to more than 50% of those patients. So meaning we have more, approximately 20,000 patients who need our service. Now, I want you to imagine, even if you were to run a hospital of that volume, 20,000 patients per year running through your database. What kind, look at that volume of work. So that's why I again asked him, how much money is involved in this challenge? We found it was 37 million US dollars that Uganda loses in this, while even at the end of the day, we lose some of these patients. And I was like, we need to do something. I asked him, what about Africa? We were able to see 44 or 45 billion US dollars. And I was saying, there is a lot of money here. So that's why, even right now, I cannot leave the biotechnology lab down there. Because I want to invest in Vinca alkaloids production. And the facility is here in the university. We have capacity to do endophyte culturing. And when I asked him, go and look at the value, the market, the global value for the Vinca alkaloids, he went there, 1.2 billion US dollars. And I asked him, 1 kilo of Vinca alkaloids, 3.6 million US dollars. We have capacity to produce like how many kilograms? If we are serious, about 10 kilograms. So that is about 36 million US dollars. A lot of money in this world moving. And Mbarara University, a very strong public university. I think sometimes we hit number 1, number 2. We have facilities to do all this. And that's why here I then see why I can never leave the university. In my last meeting with His Excellency, I think it was in last month, when I was disseminating to him the results from Cairo, he asked me that, now what do you want us to do? I told him, Your Excellency, I'm tired. I lose time moving up and down, and I lose knowledge. Because as I take some of these innovations to foreign labs, some of my protocols end up there, and a lot of things. And he was like, now what do we do? He said, I'm giving you the lab. Then I told him, yes, Your Excellency. Then I told him, but I don't want the lab alone. Because if I get the lab alone, when I die, cancer will not die. And I don't have capacity to generate new knowledge. I told him, I need this lab as a joint research lab, private, public, partnership with Mbarara University, where I want to have researchers access this, and industry, we are also accessing this, and we can even, if it calls to have joint work where we can now create new knowledge. Some students need to learn from me because I'm not going to stay forever. And I want to announce to you that His Excellency allowed this, and I think very soon we will be, after the elections and all this, we will have an official meeting with the university leadership, and if you allow us, this cancer drug research facility will be hosted here. So, now, that takes me to what he emphasized, the partnerships. You must know who matters in your value chain. Today, a university cannot grow strong without action research. And that's why, when most of the universities I used to visit was in South China, in Shenzhen. And a lot of innovations are happening between industries and universities. You find there is a full desk in a specific department of a specific university for a specific industry. So, today, when I said that the quality of solutions and the level of businesses we want to do must be a bit advanced, not like when you go now to Central Market. I know his methods. he makes sure that you get exposed to every environment. But I want to encourage one thing. The quality of my product, the quality of the technologies, even when you look at the packaging, when you look at the level of research that is around KAZAIRE health products, is so different from now the traditional healers in the villages. So let us keep this in mind as we come out to do these businesses, that some of our solutions must be a bit different and a bit novel. Because we are university products, let them be a bit different from the ready now at the central market. Because these solutions that are coming out are an image of what our university inside is. I think last year I was awarded among the faces of science in this country. And my award was in the contribution I have done in standardization of natural medicine. Then immediately, it was a very big, I don't know how to say it, but it became a very big load on me. That everything that is happening in natural therapeutics, if it is substandard, then that is my face. And I was like, hey. Then that's when I began engaging with the National Drug Authority a lot, asking them, you people, are you aware that 80% of the Ugandans are depending on herbal medicine? They said, yes, we know. Then I asked them, you are saying your core and goal is to provide safe, efficacious drugs to the Ugandans. Then I said, there is no shortcut to this. If you want to really be true to yourselves, then don't push away the herbalists. Don't chase them. Because even if you push them, the Ugandans will still follow them to whatever extent you will push them. So the best thing, let us gather them. Let us help them to know how to produce a standard drug. Then finally, this 80% of these Ugandans will have access to standard, alternative, and complementary medicine. And that's how I handed over my facility to National Drug Authority as a center for training. So now National Drug Authority brings there the herbalists. They are taught in these methods and everything. Again, thanks to Mbarara University. When I was doing my master's, one of the professors you invited from Gezira University, Professor Alamin, kept coming to my facility and he helped me to do a lot of standardization at my facility. And it is through, again, that relationship you had created that I was again able to access Professor Alamin while he was working in Saudi Arabia. He would still coordinate with me while working on my research in Cairo. And that's how we were able to get the best results on my study. For him, he was here as a visiting professor. But this student who had a lot of interest kept chasing the professor, and I cannot break that tie. Now, what happens in your side? That while you are pursuing your teaching, one of the key things now you should be working on is to identify that sharp student who can be able to generate very good solutions, and you as the lecturer, you again keep mentoring and holding this student, that this student comes out with a very good solution that you can even co-patent with him or with her. This is one big, I don't know how to say. The value in this is so much that you will now begin producing those unique solutions. And once this happens, I want to say, he talked about something. I want, by closure of this session, that something is thinking about creating a solution that the vendors in that market where you went can have a solution which is so easy, not complicated for them, that it can even work with their button phones, or a small book, a small notebook, that you have a way of supporting their businesses to survive at even a small cost. And that through that interaction with them, as you build this model, that helps them to quickly maybe access what they need in their business and how to access more clients, you are part of that, of that value chain. And there are also many other things. For example, beekeeping. We use a lot of honey in our facility. But beekeeping, I don't know whether the bees require, what do we call this boy who keeps following these cows? Do bees need someone to keep? The herdsman. But now, in this room, how many people say that I have no capacity to establish even one beehive? Put up your hand, I want to look at you. What is the cost of a beehive? The local beehive, 50,000. 15. How many acres? Okay, how many acres do you need? You don't need herbicides. You don't need to spray it. You don't need anything. But tell me, how many people in this university have used the social capital that you have and have come in this, in any of our gatherings, and you tell someone, I have some honey, and you have lacked market. Now, go to the supermarkets. Now, this is one of my research skills. It's not validated, so I don't know, maybe in the future. But many times I go to the dustbin. Even today, I go to the dustbin. When I go to the dustbin, we have many people who go to dustbins. The mad people go there, but I also go there. What is important is what you are looking for. Me, I go to the dustbin because I'm looking for data. How many empty bottles of KAZAIRE are in the dustbin, and which brand is most, is very important data for me to know which product is moving faster. When I go on the shelf of the supermarket, I can see how many centimeters I have pushed. And I keep watching how I am growing in length on the shelf. But that is not enough. You can be there and you find that your growth on the shelf is maybe there is a confounding factor. Maybe the attendant to that supermarket is a fan of your product and always wants it there. So I don't want to get that biased data. I have to find the empty bottle. When I see the empty bottle, I'm sure money went to the bank. So, when you go to the supermarkets, look at the honey which we are having there. 80% of the honey in the supermarkets is coming from United Arab Emirates. But I do not think we have production of honey in United Arab Emirates. Something is happening that there is someone somewhere producing this honey, and possibly these guys in the United Arab Emirates, they are only purifying it and packaging it and branding it. Now, when we come to what the government is talking about, Bubu, it's an opportunity for us that someone in this room can decide that every month I want to put a beehive. You have. So you know money. She knows. So we are going to be your consumers. So market is here. So now you will find that by the time, even if all of us in this room, we decide that we want to begin producing honey, all of us, then we come to what he was talking about, the synergistic effort of coming together, that we have a mass association of maybe entrepreneurs and something, that then our other focus is how do we put up a facility to purify, brand, and market this honey. Remember, you already have another big brand. When they hear that this honey is processed by the intellectuals of must already trust and confidence. That's another capital you cannot buy. I have the 25 years I have had in communities, I have already built a value which you cannot touch of trust in the communities. I remember when National Drug Authority tried to chase some of our products from the pharmacies. Then the pharmacists were saying, no, the people they're asking that for that product, and for them they are saying it's medicine to them. So they fought with pharmacies until when they gave up. And KAZAIRE products are in pharmacies. So, trust. And one thing I want you to know, people trust the university. So that's why I am still insisting that the solutions we want to bring out must be branded at another level. Yes. Not as they read now at the central market. That when we say, let us even leave now honey. I know Camtech has done a lot of things in this area where I'm going. Max Trans Technologies is one of our tech companies. We develop solutions. I had a lot of fuel thefts, so I had to put a solution to monitor fuel. Today I can know how much each vehicle has consumed, and if you siphon, I will know which driver siphoned my fuel and how many liters. Today I can know where each vehicle, out of about 50 vehicles, I can decide to know where any vehicle is. Beyond that, I can know where we have sold and how much we have sold there, using tech solutions. So this is another area that is still virgin, that as a university, small businesses are still struggling. Most of the applications and softwares are so complicated that when they were being designed, they were thinking about their people. So when we try to import them, to localize them here, we get challenges. But the university today can identify and know that the people we want to grow in the smaller businesses have not studied much, but we need them. We need to support them so that whoever is developing now any application is thinking about that consumer. Why many businesses fail? Many people start businesses for themselves. Every day, I work with my production chemist, asking him, are we keeping with what the community wants? And he has a lot of batch on his desk. He must tell us every time what the community is saying about the product. Because we are not producing for ourselves. We are producing for the community. So, many startups fail because this innovator is so excited and obsessed about their innovation and their product that they think even the user has also to be obsessed. That even when you bring your product to me and I give you feedback which is not positive, you feel hurt and you feel like you don't want to consult me again, instead of fixing or instead of absorbing it with humility, and you now fix the problem so that you have a better product. He has a team of 4 people who work with him to go on our social media handles to see what is the feedback from the community. So what do we need now to fix again? So whatever you are starting, it's not for yourself. Identify your customer. And then the solution you are bringing, let it fit. Let it fit. In the university setting, you know, surely in society, we are at another level. That one we cannot, it is obvious and it is a fact. But for us to benefit from the 40 million, I don't know, out of the 40 million, this class, I don't know how many millions, this class could be less than even 5 million. This class is indeed less than 5 million. So, but the people who can make your business succeed are the other remaining 35 who are at some level. These are facts. We have to talk about them as they are if we want to understand what we are doing. So that's why this man keeps in the community listening to what the old lady is saying. And it is that feedback from the old lady that we work with. That's what has brought sustainability. That's how we have managed to keep the market. Okay? So, I know he's telling me of another meeting that is coming up. But I need to make some of these things very clear. That as you start on in your research, in your problem identification, you need to know the product is not for yourself. The product is for the consumers. The product is for the community. Now, this now calls us to ask ourselves, is my solution having impact on the community? Or it is going to impact you alone? So this explains why we have now over 5,000 farmers linked to our value chain. And we must know what they want. We must always visit them. That if your cycle, actually, Uganda has it right. For God and my country. God is the father of all the people. So if God sees in your heart that your whole purpose of starting up anything is making money, it is hard for him to pay attention to you. This I have experienced. Yes, as a person, I have experienced. Because many innovations that I have worked on, where I'm even thinking about the pain in this community, and I'm thinking about the solution to come up very quickly, I have seen God's hand. In my cancer research, I quickly got government support, which I was not expecting. Because I was working on a solution. Then money followed me. So, I repeat this. Work on the solution, then money will follow you. But if you are starting because you want to make money, what will happen? One of the key things, you will even begin making substandard because you still want to maximize your profits. You will fake some things around to the level that you can be even tempted to forge some results. It can happen. If you are pushing, the push is for the money. But if your goal is the solution, every time you want to make it better and better and better. And along the journey, everybody in society will be looking for your solution. But you have attached a value to your solution. Actually, KAZAIRE Health Products is the most expensive beverage in the whole of East Africa. And I think even in Kinshasa, one bottle of aloe vera goes for $10. I was now seeing in Canada, £2. Even globally, we are among the most expensive beverage. But because we have worked on standardization and we have made sure that until the labs confirm that we have the concentrations of the molecules that are going to deliver a specific therapeutic impact to the patient, we cannot pass it. That in January when you drink it from Chisoro, and in July you are drinking it from Karamoja, the taste must be the same and the effect must be the same. And that's why sometimes people reach in certain areas, you move in shops, and there is where they are selling our product where the recommended market price is 1,500. They even sell it to them, 10,000. And you have no option because it's not about what the product is. It's about the solution that you want. They still pay. So, money is there. In the communities, money is there a lot. But what solution? Actually, people are not buying the product. No. Because aloe vera, you people, you know how sour that thing is. Extremely very sour. But it is the most selling brand. Actually, it gives us about 1.3 billion monthly. That most sour thing. And there is no business of me trying to convince someone, take it, no. My duty is to make sure that the concentration of the beta glycosides is as standard that the bitterness test when I run it is as bitter as it was before. That's the only thing I needed to do. And should it drop in its bitterness, I will drop sales. Standardization. And keep the solution. Money is going to follow you up. So me, the biggest task I see in this house is that people must look for serious problems. Look for serious problems, work synergistically as teams. Don't work under your armpit. It is not going to work. Then embrace systems. Embrace systems. In one meeting where I was with him, with the young people, I told them the greatest mistake that I made in my journey was trusting people. In business, the day you begin bringing relationships, because she's my sister, because he's my brother, because he's a colleague, that's the beginning of death. Actually, you are buying a coffin for your business. Systems. Refuse shortcuts. I know people who had good businesses, but because they were attempting to cheat government, to avoid taxes, even their employees said, okay, if you are cheating government, you are struggling to avoid taxes, we will also use the same methods to cheat from you. And most businesses collapsed. Avoid shortcuts. The legal framework. The legal framework. What is required of you? You are not going to say, I have the best innovation. Even now, our cancer formulas are ready. All the studies, the cytotoxicity, the in vitro studies that were required, we finished them. The in vivo models that they wanted, like the subacute toxicity studies, we did them. Good enough, they were done by the pharmacology department of this university. We have submitted everything to NDA. But I cannot now begin saying, because it's a unique innovation, now I begin moving up and down with the product. No, I'm still waiting for my notification. I still have to wait for the regulator to clear me and say, go and produce. I'm still now working under the provision of the law, which tells me I can treat my relative and community members. Actually, the 123 patients, most of them are close relatives, others are within the community. So the law allows me to do that. But today, if you are a distant person, I'm still waiting for the clearance. We are hoping next month we may have it. And this product will be out for public use. So, the law. If you think because you are working with Mbarara University and people know you, then that you will go there and you don't pay the council fees, they are going to embarrass you. So, register. I know he should have given a package on that. URSB is just across here. Register your business. And now, I want to emphasize something there. KAZAIRE Group started as a family business. It has grown in value and its shares. But looking at the cultural infrastructure in Uganda, even when it has grown into a corporate infrastructure, I have still stayed closed for its shareholding. I still have 90% shares, and the 10% shares are held by the managing director, Madam Ivas. Because I'm telling you this is public information. Even if I don't say it, if you want, you will go on the websites for your RSB, you will still see it. Why? I have observed one thing. Doctor, you have to study this. You check it. I know you could have even confirmed it. In Africa, people are in great partnership when they don't have money. But when money increases, then it begins to be a war between the original partnership. To my surprise, even me, where the bed can work as a boardroom for resolutions, there is when we disagree. And today I'm blessed that my firstborn, Mark KAZAIRE, now, he works with us. So sometimes he comes and says, but daddy, this one, we cannot do it. And I say, okay, fine. I lose the vote. And you agree because you need business to continue. And sometimes he says, mommy, this one, no. I think this one, the way I feel, I was here yesterday, we sat in a meeting, and this was to be done, and so failed to fulfill. This person caused the failure of targets. No, let him receive his warning letter. Even when that person is a good friend to the MD, justice is attained. Now, looking at that, I would encourage, at the beginning of your business, understand your partner. Understand the partner and put the guidelines proper, the articles. Let the articles be very clear. And I beg, make sure the lawyer puts clearly. I want to use this term, the divorce clause. When the business is like a marriage, when all things have failed, how will you go with the children? Who goes with how many children? Who goes with the house? Who goes with the land? Put all these clear. Many people ignore that, thinking, because at the beginning you are good friends. The partnership is so sweet. But when a lot of money comes in, now imagine today at 15 million US dollars, if I disagree with Madam, and I even believe, if it is not because she wants her children to run and take over, if it was another partner by now, we would be having other dreams of how do we separate so that each one grows bigger alone, not knowing after separation, you will begin your journey to corruption. So, be very keen about your partner and have those terms very clear on how you are beginning and how you are moving. Once you have identified that need within the community, good enough. This is a university that emphasizes research. First, research about the business you want to do. Have more time interacting with the people who have been in that business before. And see how you can downsize so that you can be able to start small. Most of you have been passing on that road. You saw where I started from, down there. There was that small building. The next extension, I could not even afford brickwork. I put some shade of iron sheets. And from there, there was now obvious demand that I began to raise capital from the business community. A standard, unique solution. People will even prepare for it. and you will have free, unmortgaged, interest-free capital. And now, this is where, that's another ditch where people collapse. You receive the customer's money because it has popped in your account, then you begin thinking it is your money. I think every day we get more than 100 million crossing over through our accounts. But I am very sure this is not my money. It's public money. There is the supplier, there is a farmer, there is a supplier of the packaging materials, there are salaries for the teams, there is tax for the government, there is NSSF for the employers, there is money for telecom, internet, there is money to UDCL. So the moment you forget and think that every money that has come into your account is your money, you are finished. So it takes us to where we require to do the small calculations. For us, in the pharmaceutical world, we call it a BOM, the bills of material. To know. Then after that, after doing it, you are able to go down and cost the process. Because business is not about being busy. I speak this to every audience I meet. It's not about being busy. Business is about the profit. If you are not making the profit, leave it. You are going to be stressed. They will prison you. You will lose even what you saved with your salary because you entered something that is not. Profits are children of the money. And to grow rich, there is one formula. Money must be producing children. Now, there is one big other challenge. This is a fundamental to business sustainability and business growth. A mother who produces and the father eats the children. You are the father of the business. Business is the mother of the children who are the profits. And you begin eating the children before they even study to be able to also make some money. Profits, it's better that they are always reinvested to support your continuous development. So that capital, which is the mother, still keeps on. And how you achieve that, sometimes there is when you have to create multiple accounts. And you still insist that because that's when you have done your costing. So you know the tax is 18%. You know you spend this in salaries. You know you spend this to the bills. These are costs that whether you do what, you must pay them monthly. So have that account where you put that money. Then you stay with your working capital in another account. Then you have another last account where you put your interest, the savings that have come after you have paid all the taxes. That it is when this other account now accumulates that you begin thinking about reinvesting. There is that tendency of being excited at how the consumers have picked on your product instantly. And you become excited and you rush to pick loans to add into your business, not knowing you have not confirmed about the stability of your curve. Wait until when your growth curve stabilizes. Yes, I see one of my consultants Madam Nasta there. She emphasizes this a lot. She comes, studies my work, and she tells me, stop any extra development. Like now, she stopped my construction, and I have stopped. The power of consultancy. Listen to consultants. I am an expert in pharmacognosy. There she cannot tell me to stop anything and I allow. When I'm searching for a molecule, I'm still searching for it. But when I need anything about the taxes, I think she's doing her PhD here in taxation. So when I need knowledge in taxation, why should a student, a PhD student in drug discovery, be wondering, forcing his head to understand taxation when you can access another person who is doing a PhD in taxation? Agree that we are not the same. They are experts in different fields. So when I consulted her this year, she told me, stop. The money you are having now, first rate it to produce more. And when you visit, say, our facility, you will wonder, now my office has no tiles, my reception is not complete, and I cannot risk. Because if I touch, I will touch into the capital. I will touch the supplier's money, and I will have no money to pay. I will touch the tax. I think when she was computing, I saw monthly now we pay about 120 million tax every month. So imagine if you risk and you have touched it. Hey, then you call for an unnecessary battle with URA. And you begin saying, this government, the taxes are too much. But that was not your money. And you refused to recognize it. So that's why you are having problems. It's not government which is the problem. It's you who failed to know you collected 18% value added tax. It's not your money. You were an agent. Now, the bigger challenge comes when in your bills in your costing, you look at what you used to produce and forget that you are supposed to pay tax. And you don't include it to go and collect it from the customer. And you begin unnecessary competition in the market. You are competing with someone who is illegal, who is not running a registered company, who does not have a team. For him, he can survive cutting costs. Don't do that. You will collapse. That happened a lot. I think for him, he does too much research in business and what happens out here. You saw what happened to the many kombucha things that were coming up, the many imitations that were coming up. And people were like, will KAZAIRE survive? And to me, I was like, what keeps me to survive is a standard product and right business procedures. So when the time came and these people began being hunted to make sure they pay taxes, so they found they needed to increase prices. And by the time they increased the prices, now the consumers began looking at their price with a standard product. They said, we would rather abandon this which works like KAZAIRE. We go and take the KAZAIRE, which is the standard product. So that's why it is important that in your innovation, do not sleep. Use all the energy that what you are producing is so standard that whoever attempts to duplicate it, the cost will not allow him to survive. And that's one key factor that has made us grow. Our standard, you try to imitate it, the cost will kill you. Why? I am an expert. I have put a lot of knowledge. I've invested more in knowledge in my industry than just the money. Because it's not only the money that makes the business move, the systems. I invested, I think, about 700 million in technology, buying those applications. Some of them I bought them from Belgium, others from India. Then I began working. I hired a master's person to come and customize it. I remember Nasta was like, hey, we have spent too much. What is going to happen? I told her, don't worry. So our initial investment was too much. But now, that helps me. One, nobody can steal fuel. They used to steal about fuel, which was about 40 million every month. But we saved that now. So, the systems I have invested in terms of knowledge in the business allows me to operate at a very low cost that I still move. That whoever wants to produce a similar product, it is hard for that person to survive. So that's actually, it is one reason why I came back to the university. Why? In the university, I access very expensive knowledge. Then I move with it, then I downsize it, then I customize it to our processes, and I am capable of keeping on and continuously surviving. So, whatever product you want to invest in now, on your level and on your side, the niche you have is that you have a huge gap in terms of knowledge. That employ more knowledge in the solution you are creating, that it becomes the greatest advantage with your competitors in the same solution. So, even if I said we talk about the business for a week, we may not still end. Because what I'm sharing is what we have gone through for the last quarter century. From 2000 up to today, the last 25 years. With thousands of mistakes done. But with extra thousands of corrections made along the journey. So the only thing I could do as your student is to keep myself open to people who want to consult me, to share with me at an individual level whenever I am within the university, so that we can exchange and you get to know some of the mistakes I went through, so that you don't need to go back to them, and some of the critical errors you should avoid. But I hope I have highlighted the key critical errors. Put systems, even if the simplest application, put it, measure every day, measure. Audit yourself every day, audit. Put SOPs and keep them, not just to write them and people are not following them. Then, continuously search for the knowledge in that field. Create the best solution. Money is going to follow you. That even when it is at your time of retirement, you are not feeling tired, but you are having a new journey to again walk afresh in impacting the society. And the more you are working towards impacting society, you will never get tired. God will support you, God will help you, and you will succeed. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it has been all said. With Dr. KAZAIRE in front of you, sharing his experience, you cannot wish to stop listening to him. And this is the experience we have had throughout all our interactions. But there are three main facts to me, as far as this bootcamp is concerned, that we must not forget. Number one, and he kept saying it. Number one, business is a source of wealth creation. Business is a source and it's a form of wealth creation. And this has been a fact all the way through the Industrial Revolution. It has been proven to be the only way. That's partly why our Ugandan economy is supposed to be private sector led. To be private sector led means it's incumbent upon each one of us to think entrepreneurial, to think business wise, including MUST, because MUST is an entity, like I am an entity. The second main point he brought out, and loudly and clear, is that a successful business today should be knowledge-driven. He repeatedly talked of SOPs, he repeatedly talked of high-tech technologies, and several other aspects. But all he's saying, we must be afloat, we must be novel in whatever we are doing. Thirdly, and this is the connecting point, birds of the same feather flock together. So he brought a new concept in business, community-centric. Community-centric. KAZAIRE was born out of being community-centric. From 20,000 Uganda shillings, in a space of only 25 years, it is now $15 million worth. I feared asking him what the worth will be in 2050. What do you expect, sir, in 2050?
When our patents come out, we will grow immediately to more than $100 million.
Wealth creation, because he has built systems, his community MUST was equally born out of the concept of community centrism. Up to now, whatever we do, we preach. This is what makes MUST unique of all public universities. It's a challenge to us, back in our faculties, back in different departments. How community-centric are we to our constituents? And he has left this big question to us. This same principle is what we also preach in our boot camps of entrepreneurship development level 1. For us, we use a different terminology, and we call it design thinking. Thank you very much for bringing up this concept loud and clear. And I think Dr. Sarah, stand up for recognition. Nuriat, stand up for recognition. Francis, wherever you are, stand up for recognition. Dr. Rennie, stand up for recognition. The Secretariat of Project 5, stand up for recognition. Hey, please, remain standing. I want the guest speaker to recognize you. Remain standing. Yes, others are not here, but these are the mentors that this Project 5 has developed within the MUST community. I want to say happily that where we are developing a university that is entrepreneur-led. And the gospel is beginning with these few you have seen, but it must reach further. That's why we are all here. If we forget this cause, then we are getting lost in the ocean. Please let us not get lost in the ocean. I will not go beyond this, but I will allow a series of around 5 questions. Please, those who are on the link, let me know when there are questions. So we have a set of 5 questions, then we allow him to respond. I can see Dr. Albako is burning. Over to you. Introduce yourself well, for identity, and then proceed. Be as brief as possible.
Yes. Good morning to us all. Good morning to those of us who are online. I'm Wilfred Arbaku from Faculty of Medicine. I'm currently attending a boot camp for entrepreneurship. It has been a hectic week and very interesting. And I would really like to appreciate and give my gratitude for the course trainers. They have been so excellent. And now, to cap it all, today we have received Dr. KAZAIRE, who was also my student before, but now today I'm his student. And I don't know what the School of Business Studies is thinking. I believe you could give him a honorary professorship. Because the things he has been teaching are exactly the same, like those of you who went to business school. Yeah, so there's no reason why he cannot be given that. Yeah. Now, my question is quite simple. You are in manufacturing, and we have our project is on manufacturing. And we learned yesterday from our community engagement that manufacturing enterprises face a huge challenge of market access. And so I would like you to share with us, what is your experience in KAZAIRE with market access? Thank you.
Very specific question. He's passionate about market access because without that market access, the money you are saying you are creating may never come to the account. Meridita? For yourself, very well.
Thank you. My name is Natkunda Merita, and I'm a student of Mbara University of Science and Technology. My interest is in agriculture, but I'm a technology student, informatics. And I wanted to ask for some pointers. Okay, when you were, throughout your talk, Major, you really emphasized knowledge. So I wanted to ask for some pointers, like when you want to grow in a field that you're not academically pursuing, because at this point, I think my chances of pursuing anything in agriculture is like, it would begin paying off like 10 years to come. So what would you like point out for me now? And also adding on what he asked, I wanted to ask about market research. How do you make efficient market research, especially in Uganda? Because I've tried watching YouTubes and I've tried reading some books, but they usually talk about like America or Europe, and yet we are looking at Uganda right now. We don't have enough books that talk about market research in Uganda. So what pointers would you give for market research, and what market strategies would apply for Uganda, specifically in Mbara?
Okay. Any other question or comment? Oh, Dr. Martha.
Thank you very much. Martha Choshaba Tunamasko is my name. I have thoroughly enjoyed the discussion. From your experience, I would like you to tell us, why do you think that businesses in Uganda, we are quite an entrepreneurial nation, but many businesses start and they fail along the way? Briefly, would you point us to why you think they fail? Or is it because, as you have said, cutting the corners, the taxes and all that?
Any other question? Yes, Duncan. Please identify yourself well.
Thank you, Doctor. My name is Duncan from Ranger Agro-Tourism Farm. Thank you for the good talk. I think a lot of things that has been actually said in this bootcamp, you just expressed them in your talk, and I think all of us were picking them at different levels. This one is for me on mentorship and coaching. There's no doubt you're a very busy person, and you quite well have a very good background, specifically in Uganda in terms of mentorship and coaching. Very many people want to be like you. But there's a gap. Majority, I think she alluded to it. There's a big gap for people like you to connect back to the community. In your busy schedule, do you have space for coaching and mentorship where it is deliberate that maybe on a quarterly basis or in annual, I'm going to focus on helping people who want to be like me? Not specifically in your field, but based on your experience and exposure, if I have a program for mentorship, is it something you are willing to, to take it up? Thank you.
Something he has not said as part of our project design. So we always have industry mentors working with us as we mentor our teams. So it's one of them. Okay, one more last question. Sankara. Sankara.
Thank you very much, Dr. KAZAIRE. I'm called Sankara Byaruhanga, former student MAST, and also a good collaborator of UCoBS sub-project 5. So, Doctor, I've been inspired by the last question. We created SIBO, which is a Glovo of Mbarara, a mobile application doing deliveries here in town. We are in 60 orders a day, especially food from restaurants around. And when you asked about mentorship, I thought you would also request that if there are doors of partnership, you had mentioned as long as one is in the, the community of MAST, they would have an opportunity to engage you in some of those areas. It is as simple as order a meal and you receive a KAZAIRE on it. From that to sharing mega disruptive innovations that would require your not just mentorship, but also growing. It could be board of advisors, it could be part of the team. I could be speaking for many of us in the audience. Thank you very much.
So in the interest of gender, I will allow one more person. I want to believe that we shall have these slides shared.
Yes, yes.
We shall have these slides shared. And again, in these slides, we have contacts, so we can continue engaging one of us. Dr. Kazi, over to you, Nuriat.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. KAZAIRE. My name is Nambogo Nuriat from Camtech, Uganda. I'm happy to have listened to you for the first time. I've been hearing about you. I'm an innovator and I support innovators, but it's good you know about Camtech. Yes. We are into health innovations. Now my question, I heard you speak about work you would like to do with Mbara University. Do you plan to have, because KAZAIRE is a big thing, it's big, really. We've been hearing about you and we appreciate. And what we've heard from you today, it confirms that there is a lot of knowledge there. Are you looking at starting up, maybe in future, making it like a training center where you can even certify, people get certificates? Because we have a lot of people in herbal medicine, maybe Mbara University may not be enough, like, but are you looking at least having people in herbal medicine, but also people doing the products, same products, because people in communities still take those products. Yes, they are your competitors, but can you start to think about maybe how can I help my fellow people so that I'm not the only one in the market? Of course, you'll always be better than them, but what kind of skills can you give them so that they don't risk people's lives because people continue taking these products? Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
So we should not forget that this project is being funded by the Virus program, of the Belgian government. and we need to thank them for what they are doing for MUST. In this collaboration, we also have several partner universities on the Flemish side, one of them including for West. And it has been there for us to support us. Locally, we also are in partnership with several enterprises. One of them is Rwenjeru, as you have heard. We have Uganda Industrial Research Institute. We also have this one who made materials are what? No, this one in Kampala. Oh, Startup Africa. Yeah. Startup Africa, and several others. So we have to appreciate them for what they have made us become. We would also wish to invite KAZAIRE also to become part of our ITH, the Industrial Competence Hub that we have established at MUST. Because we already have Nile breweries, we already have Lato, we already have Century Bottling. We want to invite you. You are worth being our partner.
Thank you.
Having said that, I would like now to invite him to come forward and respond to the comments and questions that have been raised.
Thank you, Doctor. I will start with the doctor's question, market access. Market access has a lot of factors. And you enter the market at different levels. Like right now, when I was thinking about drug discovery, I looked at the disease with the highest prevalence, where people are suffering enough that there is a huge gap for even the big pharmaceutical companies who think are already big giants, but I identified one key limitation. How would I produce a formula where the selective index of my drug is so high, much more than 1? And this is a parameter in drug development that once you do it, your drug protects more of the normal cells and keeps its focus greatly at aggressively attacking the cancer cells. And to achieve this, I had to do an extra study in nanomedicine, so that I'm able to solve the problem of natural molecules even when they had good cytotoxicity properties. The challenge was the distribution. How do I send the drug to reach the site without being metabolized by the liver? Now, how would I attain that? I had to pick to the recent knowledge in medicine, which is approximately 15 years ago, nanomedicine, that I would create nanoparticles from these plant molecules. And also, while thinking about it, I looked at having the natural vehicles, not looking at polymers, which are synthetic, where the Western world has focused. So that's how I was able to produce the liposomes using ghee, the butter, and also using an extract from soya. And we got the best results ever. So now, the high level of expertise that I have deployed will lower my cost and my resistance to enter the market because I have the best novelty. So that's why I was saying that for you who have an advantage of being more knowledgeable, deploy more knowledge, that what you have produced you are belonging in a certain level where the congestion in that space is so low that there is no resistance, that even the distance between you and your competitor is not there. So, the Cancer Institute has been suffering. Whenever they find someone is in stage 4, they give up, they quickly refer to hospice. So, now all the people are just coming. Now, because our production equipment is very limited, we can only produce about 100 doses per month, so I have stopped. I can't pick more patients. But when the president got aware of this, he has given us support to put another production line. Now, not only when you have created a special product with high level of knowledge investment, you do not only find easy access to the market, but you also quickly attract investment. You quickly attract money flow. Let me tell you, the direction he talked about where we are heading as a university, as many more patents get registered by this university, you will see how many international investors want to come in and invest in so that they be beneficiaries to commercialize these registered patents. You will see, and you will see how much money will be coming in mass, and you will not believe. So, then, if your product is not high value and high knowledge based, then now you need to look at concentrating a lot to identify the cluster of your target consumers. Learn them, develop tactics of reaching them. Not as someone going to sell the product, but someone going to explain your solution. From 2000, those of you who used to listen to local radios, even today, I still run radio talk shows. Let food be your medicine. I have even TV shows where I am letting the public to know, to be enlightened and to get knowledge about our innovations, not about the product. No. You are making the public to be aware of your solution. And once someone understands what your product solves, they may not buy that day. No, they may not buy. But the day that problem pops up, they will immediately think of your solution. And naturally, your product will get absorbed. It will get those referrals. But also, you need, when you have created that solution, you now need to advertise. So that's why, as I think in her area as Camtech, now social media. We need to create those market solutions in marketing strategies that can help us to disseminate information about products so that we have that e-marketplaces where people can access some of these things. And that will help you to quickly access the market. So our market is developed from within the roots of our consumers. So it is hard. That's why even like now, if I opened even our treatment before even a notification, NDA would even fail to manage the masses. But I don't want to violate a process which I understand. So that's why I'm patient. I'm waiting for the notification to come out so that we can now open the drug. So see, even before the product is in the market, people are already wanting the product. So the market is looking for you. You are not actually looking for the market. And to this audience, you have a higher competitive advantage in product development because you are more knowledgeable. Then to my sister Nat Kunda, to have a pharmacy, if you have good knowledge of business and you know that you want to run a pharmacy, you have identified a gap in a specific village, people are not easily accessing good drugs, and you want to have a pharmacy, you do not necessarily need to first come here and start a pharmacy, no. Learn how the pharmacies operate. The legal requirement, employ a pharmacist, have the people who are knowledgeable in that field, bring them on board as employees, put SOPs, employ. You don't need to come here to do accounting, no. Employ an accountant, employ the pharmacist, put standards, put SOPs, and enter into that field. Now, if you are in IT, something will happen that where you are more knowledgeable, you will transfer your knowledge because of the core and interest, integrate your expertise into that virgin area, and you will excel beyond those who are already existing in that area. For example, now, if I go at the factory, I go to the camera room, I can see what is happening at the farm in Masindi because I've put cameras all over the farm. So I can see tractors move physically, but I can also go on Agromax, which is an application we customize, and see the fuel they have used. I will see how the tractor has moved, whatever they are doing. I will see where each cow is. I will know the kilos they have fed, because I have now brought technology in agriculture. So your love for agriculture, transfer there your knowledge of IT, then quickly you will cause a great transformation in that area, and you will be very successful. So don't be bothered about the knowledge in a specific field where you are seeing money. Go there and employ. Go there and organize people who have knowledge in that field, but they don't see the money. Put them in order and make them make money for you and get the money. Because the issue is not you to have the knowledge of the business. The issue is make that knowledge from the knowledgeable people in that field, generate money for you, pocket the money. They keep working. Another question was from Dr. Martha. Businesses in Uganda, they tend to start while there are a lot of businesses thriving, others are collapsing. Yes, it is very true, doctor, but when we evaluate how many Indian businesses are collapsing versus the Ugandan businesses that are collapsing, they don't match. So it is very clear that Uganda can run successful businesses. But the only challenge has been one. At the beginning of the business, many people identify wrong business partners. When they begin making money, they fight. Definitely the business will close. I know very many in this city. For just like 20 years, I have stayed around. I've seen many friends of mine, they start businesses, they begin doing well, then in the middle, they begin fighting. I can't put their names here. 2, failure to start with systems. And you start thinking business is a family issue. No. The DNA of the business is the bank and the money. Cash flow is the blood of the business, not the relationships with the relatives. Okay, if you have a relative that is knowledgeable, let them come. Then SOPs. Now my son Mark, he goes to the procurement, to the specific department, he finds there is a problem there. He will not call me, Daddy, we want money here. No, he knows the procedure. He knows he will talk to the departmental head, they will raise a requisition, it will be put on the system, it will be approved by the head of department, it will proceed to the finance manager, she will clear it, then immediately the money will be raised, someone will pick it from the cashier, sign for it, they go, they buy, they will come back with the receipt, it will be captured in the system that it has been bought, it will be uploaded in the stores, it will be released from the stores, who has picked it will sign for it, the engineer who will go and fix it has to write a report, then it will be uploaded on the system and they will close the transaction. Period. Even him, when he wants fuel, he will not go there, this is daddy's fuel. No, it's not daddy's fuel. It's the company's fuel. So follow the company procedures. So many Ugandans, when we even bring relatives into the business, we fail to let them know the difference between daddy and the business. My wife, she knows when we are at work, I'm talking to the MD, I'm not talking to my wife. And when she's talking to me, she's talking to a director of research and development. Then when we reach home, we cross the gate at home, she's talking to the darling, I'm talking to the sweetheart. Simple. And that's how things work, and we don't conflict at all. We disagree, and then we agree for the growth and the success of the business. Now, many Ugandans, because I'm working with my wife in a supermarket, when we quarrel at the supermarket, then when we reach home, one sleeps looking this way, another one sleeps looking this way. You have mixed things. So the mix-up for African businesses must stop. And once we allow, then another thing is wanting to do shortcuts. Even learned people running businesses, they want shortcuts. Now, the route you've created to escape the tax, your employees and your finance department is using it to cheat you more. To the level that the money they steal from the business is much more than the money you would have paid to government, and you stay clean, you become a responsible citizen, and there is a lot of transparency in your work, then you lose it. And also mentoring. As a business leader, what are you mentoring the young business people? You are teaching them to cheat taxes. So you are an injustice to your country. So I think, Doctor, that is the only big challenge. If people allow that, even if you start doing peanuts, install systems, put SOPs, follow legal framework, businesses don't die. Money keeps flowing. Then also the killer, the last killer to business is feeling that you are serving yourself and you forget that you are serving public. You now ignore feedback. You think you are more important in your company than the customer, then you die. So those four things, whenever they get addressed in a business, the business can never close. Then my brother Duncan, the mentorship. I'm intentional on my coming back to the university, because it is the only place where some of the knowledge that I feel is so critical can be left, and I'm sure it will not die. Because I will disseminate it, I will publish it. There is too much knowledge which I'm going to publish. If you go in many journals, you will not find any of my publications until my patents are out. So when those 8 patents come out, then all the data, all the methods, all those things, now I will publish them. You know the danger with when you have published before patenting. If you have published before patenting, it is impossible for you to patent because it is already public knowledge. So be aware of this. So now, a lot of that, I will put it out. Then, also, to insist, like in my area, which is very fragile, of pharmacognos, that's why I requested government that the facility they had given me, I want it in a university. Because research is for knowledge generation and also for creating new workforce. So when we are doing it in the university, the bright students who are interested in such area will quickly, they find it easy to come and access you, and you transfer this knowledge. Than when you are out there as a private sector, so whenever they come there, they feel now as if they are now outside the university. So I intended that so that I bring the gap, I bring ourselves closer to the university so that sustainability of knowledge generation will be achieved. So that even when I have left this world, my son cannot stand up and say, I have closed research in this company. No, it's a public, a private, joint research laboratory. So you cannot close it. The university will not allow you to close research. So the company will have to continuously keep doing the research. They have to bring their budget that is allocated for research. Then if there are maybe grants that have come in through the arm of the university, then the research keeps on continuous. And like what he has talked about, we already have an MOU with the MAST, which we had with Pharmobiotrack. I think it is coming to some end, but now, since you have said we qualify now to come and keep in this journey together, I think the good thing, it is under his docket. He's going to look at our MOU and see when it is ending, then if we can continue with you to activate it so that we keep now even being part of these activities. Now it becomes an obligation to us so that we are you share the calendars, then we know when to come in. Then that opens also more space for us. Since the academic registrar is here, I don't know what is the policy of the university when I'm just a pharmacognos student and maybe a business class is happening. How can someone share some experience? Because I remember when Professor Guang would call me in the first week of the pharmacy students, I would come there, speak to them. That's how we sparked the products you hear down in the pharmacy department, which are coming up. And what I'm still encouraging the department, I'm still requesting, how do we make sure that we encourage these students that surely, if you are a pharmaceutical science student, you are a pharmacy student, at least to notify one product with the National Drug Authority. So that on the day of your graduation, you are not only coming out with a certificate, but you are also coming out with a patent, you are coming out with also a product. But I'm glad the VC is already focused to this. But now, like this, your work that you are doing needs to emphasize it further in the more meetings that you get at the university so that it becomes part of the routine programs. And for us, we will be available as a company, but also my availability to MAST is now more open because I'm a student. I'm required to share some of my findings as I pursue my studies here. Then the partnerships, still my brother Sankara, what you asked about the partnerships, we are extremely open to such a kind of partnerships. And I think CAMTech, we are going to come to you because we need to customize further some of our work in technology to be sure that it is really speaking to to downsize this technology, that it speaks to the communities. For example, at Lee's Logistics, we have every infrastructure. But we are having some young people, they have innovated some smart products, they have gone under all the legal requirements, they are already notified by NDA, or maybe sometimes they are also already certified by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, but these people are lacking access to the market. But for us, we have the market. We access it. We already have clients. The only limiting issue is that the products on our menu are less. So such a people can be accommodated, but we also feel we could develop those smaller technologies that can help them track their businesses. And there, our impact will be great. And also, especially agriculture. You know, agriculture is one of the core pillars that we are eyeing as government. Then the training center, I don't look at that. It seems to be a lot of duplication. Because if the university is running this, then we come in as a private partner to work with the infrastructure that the university has already put in terms of training. That we open up, then students come up. They come. Because I see we have there a master's student who is doing chemistry, in natural products chemistry. I see her at our labs. She's learning, especially on standardization. So we are having her there. But I also come here to learn, as students also come to our facility to learn. And the Cancer Drug Discovery Research Center, once it is opened up, it will be another avenue where we can have this knowledge transfer happening. Like now, the partnership we will open up with him now opens more space for us to transmit this knowledge. Otherwise, if I begin as a private sector, if you begin hosting research centers and training centers in your facilities, you lose direction. So you are like duplicating what the university is supposed to do. And that leads to loss of focus. So our focus is manufacturing. But we can bring this knowledge into a university and disseminate it than us trying to imitate another university out there. So that's what I can say about all this. I'm grateful for all these questions. I'm grateful for the time you have offered us to share this. And also, it makes me again feel home and know that as a child of this university, our work in the community is being called to be absorbed within the university. Thank you so much. But also, give thanks to the VC because she's speaking to our need. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, I don't love to dilute his message, but I love to keep connecting his message to Project 5. In his delivery, main three things emerge. One, there is power in leveraging our abilities with the talent out there. It's our responsibility, therefore, to spot the talent and then leverage on it to build our business strength. That, I think, has come out clearly in his responses. Secondly, there is power in systems. Systems eliminate bias. Systems bring focus. They keep purpose uniform. And above all, it's an internal control measure. Very important that resources can be wasted, but systems can alert you and you manage the resources. Thirdly, he emphasizes businesses fail because of our nature of business culture. Business culture at the individual level, business culture at the country level. We need to grow the business culture. And this is why, as Project 5, we saw it fit that we put in place the Must Entrepreneurship Center. That structure you see over there is intended to address that. Our intention is to bring entrepreneurs like him in the entire southwestern Uganda to be seated there, to find a home there, so that the culture we learn from them, we teach the small businesses also to grow. We thank you, you have raised this. We are creating space for all the entrepreneurs like you and many others to find a home within a university setting. Remember, UCoBS as a name is a university as a facilitator of community-based solutions. So, as Project 5, it's our mandate to ensure that we bring you to the university, leverage on our ability as knowledge generators, because you have the experience, and in so doing, create enterprises for increased employability and employment. I want to stop at this and now invite our academic registrar to give her remarks, vote of thanks, and then invite us for a group photograph.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manasseh. There is a word that Mr. KAZAIRE started with. If you open yourself to the world comes to you. You have opened yourself to us, and we are coming to you. Thank you. The Faculty of Business, Project 5, have opened themselves to you, to us, and so you're coming, and we're also going to keep coming. So I would really thank you so much for your presentation. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I believe all of us have, so let us give him a bigger hand of applause, please. Because the information he has given us, condensing 25 years in just about 2 hours, is amazing. And it's very precious for us to get a person like him to come here. So thank you, those who invited him, who thought about him. He is really the perfect fit to get us running. I would like to thank the organizers of this boot camp for, you have brought someone who has lived this experience. So you have not brought somebody who is going to tell us just about theory, but he has really told us the practice, what he has lived through. And this for me is very important. Mr. KAZAIRE, when you were sharing about your business, and then you talked about your son, Mark. For me, I was excited because, and I asked the question, why do business in Uganda fail? Why is it that we don't somehow copy the Indians? Because when they start a family business, when the parent is not there, the children take on. But it's very exciting to know that you're there with Madam as the managing director, and then Mark is also there, and then he knows the systems. I know another person recently I heard of. There's this business for, is it alopecia? Yes. The lady unfortunately passed away, but the son has taken on the business and is managing it very well. So that is encouraging in Uganda that our business is now going to be sustainable. And so even us who are starting the business, and you said even if it's a sim business, put systems. Thank you very much for that encouragement. I personally love entrepreneurship, and my businesses have always failed. I went into farming, and then I was cheated thoroughly. I went into truck driving, bought a truck. The gentleman cheated me thoroughly. I went into jewelry. I was also cheated until I said, you know what, maybe I'm not cut out for business. And then I went into money markets. That is where I have not been cheated.
But I still have that passion for business. In fact, when Dr. Rainey put up this call on the WhatsApp group, I think I was the first to enroll because I really wanted to be here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here. But when I heard you were coming, I said, let me come for this one. So because I want the money. I want jewelry, so I know how to make jewelry. Let me go and sell jewelry to people. But as you have said, I haven't done any research. I am just there. I want the company. But now I have learned, you've got to do research. You have to provide a solution. And people come for, I believe that all of us here are now going to come up with solutions which we can sell. And what I might take home from you, you have told us that you put a lot of work into this. Did you hear how he said 16 hours a day they work? Unfortunately, you didn't elaborate so much. But then I said, for us in office, we come from 8 to 5, that's 8 hours. But he's putting 16 hours. So for our businesses to succeed, we need to put in work. The other thing I learned is we need to look for problems and then provide solutions. Thank you very much for that. And for the way in which you humbly told us you look for problems in the dustbin. I closed my eyes and imagined now Mr. KAZAIRE is going to the dustbin. We find him there and we shall probably laugh at him, put him on social media memes, but he is looking solutions, and these solutions will turn into money, wealth creation. Amazing, amazing. The other thing is business is not about business, but profits. And you emphasized, if you're not making profits, close. That is excellent. And the other thing is, for the university, and I'm glad there are doctors here, you talked about action research. For us in academia, we are we do emphasize basic research, not so? And I think it is time for us to begin to think of action research. And I'm very glad you talked about the VC's passion, and I think this is something that I can also take back to our committees, where we can begin to think, okay, yes, these are academic, this is academic work, but how can we now also develop action research? Yes, that and many more, of course, really even for the question, the way you answered it, the systems, the SOPs, the shortcuts. I'm one of those Ugandans that really has been complaining about taxes. I just have a few rentals, and sometimes the government is knocking at you, the municipality is knocking at you, and you're thinking, it's too much. But for the way you have put it out that, yes, we need to pay our taxes, that is also very important. So I really, you can see how I have paid attention. I think the rest of us have paid attention. Even those online, I hope you have gotten something. And I'll conclude by saying your time here has not been wasted. You have transformed us. You have transformed me. I am walking away very. I came with my daughter. She's a first-class Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Technology. So I hope she's picked something from here. It's not about the education. It's about putting things in practice. So I believe that we shall go and discuss how to put this into practice. Allow me now to extend my vote of thanks to the faculty that are here that have organized this. Dr. Manasseh, thank you very, very much. Sometimes we are in the offices and we just hear the names, but it's until we come to you that we are, my goodness, we have treasures here. We must. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarah. I followed online and I saw how you were teaching, and I was thinking, my goodness, I'm missing a lot. Dr. Renee, thank you so much for calling us. I don't know who the other organizers are. Nuria, thank you so much. Francis, thank you very, very much. Prudence, and then, who?
Prudence, Dr.
Oh, Dr. Prudence in absentia, thank you very, very much. And then for the other staff members, you can imagine how you have gathered us. You have people from community health, you have people from Faculty of Medicine, you have people from business, you have AR's department, you have security, you have registry, you have gathered us all here. And you have given us all this information. So thank you very much. For Project 5, the funders, take our gratitude to them. These are taxpayers, people. These are taxpayers, and because they are paying taxes, you and I are here benefiting. They don't know who we are, they'll never know who we are, but we have benefited because they funded this project. But also you who burnt the midnight candle writing so that these funds can come in. Thank you very much. Colleagues, I don't want to stand in between. I'm standing in between you and our lunch. So allow me with those few words to say thank you to Mr. KAZAIRE, to the team of organizers, and to you participants, because we are going to have so many businesses in Western Uganda after here. One of my favorite sayings, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Pudding is that thing that you eat after food. And when somebody eats that pudding and it's nice, they know you have made nice pudding. We want Dr. Manase to come after a few 1-2 years, and all of us are telling him this is the business as a result of this boot camp. And I believe he will be satisfied. Thank you very much, colleagues. We are going for a group photo, and then after lunch, eh?
Yes.
Yes. So please come for the group photo. Where is the group photo?
This one?
Dr. Manase.
This one picture.